Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me here again on another day, another opportunity to practice one of our habits. Hmm? Like this is gonna be one of those streams. one of those streams. It might be a little bit triggering at points, right? But I'll I'll do things that is opposed to the things I'm talking about, so that we touch on the other side of the trigger. Okay. Okay. You're like, the fuck is Mel talking about? So we're gonna talk about habits today. Like really talk about habits. Talk about how the understanding rather that habits is basically you adding these chips, these momentary voting systems, to the future, to the person that you want to be. And we have habits. We have a bunch of habits, all of us, and it's okay. And I'm gonna be smoking weed as a habit, right? And technically, if I only did this habit, that wouldn't exactly serve me, as it wouldn't serve any of us. But I'm still going to do it while at the same time practicing the habit that we're practicing right now, in contrast to just smoking weed and practicing that as a habit. All right? All right, Terpillas. I was thinking about you today, Brother Bear. Like, I wanted to send you a message because I know you sent a message on my dancing stream, but I only like saw it and I couldn't actually fully read it. Thank you for joining me here. I was like really thinking about you today. There he is, my man, Brother Clausy. Nice having you here again, friend. Thank you for joining us, Aunt B. Such a pleasure as well. So much love to you. I'm sure you're okay. I hope so. I got to spend some time with Uncle Becky this morning, and it's what I needed as well. That collective breath, goodness, was powerful. And it was so crazy as well because he was like, oh, collective breath, I'm going to do this. And then I had to kind of like get away from my phone for a second. And I was like, oh, goodness, I hope I don't miss the collective breath. And I tuned back in, and he was just finishing explaining what the collective breath was supposed to be like. And then I got to have the collective breath, and I got to, go into my day. Look who it is! It's a Shannon, a Giovanna. Hey, certified yoga guy. Who the? Where? Me? Oh yeah. Shut. Jovan, thank you for joining me, friends. I believe Isaac is here as well. There he is. Is that a yogi on my screen? It's a fucking yogi, dude. Yogi right in front of your eyeballs, flying into your neurons right now. Like, can you believe it? Thank you, Brother Babe, for joining me. Something's telling me I can pay this guy to teach me yoga. You can. You can, in fact. I can take your money and not feel bad about it now. If you want to be taught yoga, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, and make sure I don't dig myself in your holes that I can't get out of. Yeah, we'll see how it's going to work. Like it's like Ryan actually inspired me, with some of the stuff that he shared, the business of yoga, right? Like it's such a whole thing, and you friends know how I am around the whole subject of money. I don't want to take anything from you friends. You give so much of yourself already that I don't want your money. You and the energy you share is like this infinity, and then there's like these fractions, of the infinity that is, financial gain. And I would rather give to you friends anything than take from you. So I think if anything, I'll probably, if I'm gonna make yoga videos, it's going to be Patreon exclusives. Oh, there we go. And give you friends extra value. Those of you who support me, will get double value, and then triple value. And then as we keep going, quadruple value, and then penta value. And I'm gonna run out of proper vocabulary to add value to. Thank you again, friends. So much for joining me. Kira Burp, it's a pleasure. Morning, brother. Good morning, little brother across the ocean that I love so much. Beloved sister, thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure having you here again, Terpillus. So much love for all of you amazing human beings. No, you, dude. No, you, Clausy. No, you, amazing human being. He was talking about building stuff. I messaged you like 1 hour ago. I saw, Clausy. You were like, hey, go live. And I was like, no, Clausy, I'm gonna go live in an hour, dude. Just breathe until until we're here to breathe again. You see it? It was like we've never been anywhere else. Yeah, look who it is, brother Dan. It's been a while since we've seen you here, man. Thank you for joining us. It's such a pleasure having you here. Diana joining us as well. A pleasure having you here. Trust me, it never stops feeling weird. I still try and undercharge my services into the ground. Oh, brother Isaac. I just know that you are like me as well in that, dude. Like we know the value of just human exchange and human interaction, but we value other beings like this much, and then at the same time we value ourselves like like this much, instead of bringing it into a balanced state. It's like this instead of like this. Does that make any sense? Isaac is like, yes, all right. Exactly that. Diana, love to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Melt, you cannot give if you cannot take. I know, I do know that, Isaac. I do know that, but I am abundant. I am actually I like I want to say 1,000 things at the same time. Flossie shared yesterday that if you want abundance, you don't ask for abundance, you don't hope for abundance, you live as abundance. And I do believe that for myself. But I do believe that we're already doing that. And that's going to be the truth. We're going to build from there. Fortunately, I'm in the position where I have food to eat, which is great and stuff, you know. I haven't got hungry just yet, unless I make myself go hungry. But that's a a topic for another stream. Thank you, just thank you, friends, for sharing your temporary consciousness with me. Right, like we get to share these moments with one another, and it's the fact that it will not be forever that makes it just so beautiful. There was someone in Uncle Becky's stream that was like, "What are you dying?" or something like that. I think Uncle Becky was crying, and he was like, "Are you dying?" And I like instantaneously I started typing, "We're all dying. That's what makes living all the more beautiful." And as I like hit enter, Uncle Becky reads that comment, and Uncle Becky will skip a lot of comments, but he reads that one specifically, and he says the exact same thing. Is like, "We're all dying. Nothing we can do about it. We're all dying, and we're going to die eventually, but we're alive right now. We're alive right now when we get to practice habits. And I genuinely believe the habit that we have been practicing with one another is the habit of loving one another, the habit of accepting one another, the habit of actually being present enough to see the individual, instead of just being so caught up in our own little worlds of like, oh, I need to get this done, I need to do that and this, and I need to earn money, and I need to focus on my career. And now we can be actually like, oh, expansiveness. Oh, look, this other beautiful person, this beautiful tree, this. I wanted to say this beautiful Pippi, but I couldn't find her in my field of vision. Pepe! Pepe long stockings! She's somewhere, I believe. Oh, there we go. Beautiful Burb. Just went and sat on that tree. Thank you, Burb, for giving me opportunity to acknowledge you. Okay, okay. That's why we receive. Will say receive take sounds harsh. Will say receive take sounds harsh. Mm. Diana, I'm absolutely love that you always bring flowers. Thank you for bringing flowers, friend. Like flowers is something that I have a particular draw to. Like of all the things that our universe gives to us, I feel flowers are up there. Like flowers. I mean, it's like close. It's a close tie with trees. It's like technically certain trees make flowers, so I can kind of like merge those two. But flowers, being able to like smell the aroma of a flower, being able to look at the intricacy of petals, like instantly. You know what? I'm gonna go and get one. we have like this little cactus bushlets that's been producing these flowers, and it's been producing so many of them that they're literally overlapping one another and like pushing each other against each other. So I want to show you this because just that, like, oh goodness, oh yeah, I can't explain. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at that. What? How is that even real? Like, and the camera doesn't even do it justice. Get closer. Look. So it has like these. I'm trying to like focus between the YouTube camera and the Reddit camera. It has like a round bit that is like a little bit raised over the rest of the flower, and then it goes like in on itself at the bottom, reconnecting with itself, and then on the middle of it, it has these little bridges. Like it's a oh good, it like comes out and then it stretches over itself, and then from that one there is another little platform that gets raised, and from that little platform these small little spiky bits that comes out, and the textures, like if you could feel this, it feels like skin, it feels like elephant skin or something. Like what the fuck? How is this a thing? How is this a thing? And yet it does it 100 times, over the year. And it will do it even if nobody is there to see it. It will practice that habit. It will share that beauty. It will share that love, even if there's no one there to perceive it or appreciate it. And that is just the beauty of the divine feminine, like touching on yesterday's topic. That is what the divine feminine is. Like that, I'll just give. I'll just give love. I'll just give beauty because, I don't need to be appreciated. I don't need to be loved. And that's, what makes the divine feminine so lovable in the first place. I love you, Fred, so much. Thank you. Thank you for being able to enjoy these things with me. Something you have to remember as a service provider is that you know how badly you want to pay the people that provide the services that you love. Know that you're providing them joy by letting them pay you. Isaac, thank you for that, Brother Bear. I do believe, as we go into the future, the nature of finances will change into probably a token-based system where you friends, instead of me having to go to a bank and, like borrow money in order to realize my dreams, you friends can believe in the dreams that I believe in. And then because we are a collective, our finances can then be contributed in a way that is riskless, mostly riskless on a blockchain, and then there can be like contracts built into that riskless investment. So you can basically be like, oh, I believe in this person, I'll allow them 10% of my capital, and then if they succeed, I'll get a dividend of 10% of their capital. And it's going to be complicated, but it's simpler than the current financial system we have right now, and it's going to be something that's going to give power back to us as the individuals. We're going to be able to build our futures not only in a way that is going to be, like the support of the individual, but in the support of the individual, the support of the whole. The individual being supported, allowing him to support the whole, and we're going to be supporting people and ideas instead of, financial institution, or what's the word I'm looking for? Profit margins. I look forward to it. It's a vibe, and we friends are doing it in this infancy of the the world's evolution, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get the opportunity to watch it change. We're going to have this opportunity to kind of find our legs in this new, rapidly changing world. And you friends provide me support, so thank you for that. Ooh, pretty flowers are so powerful. You, Shannon, you are so powerful, friend. Thank you for joining me and for sharing the space. It is Toasty in his house, or is Toasty in his in this his house, or is Toasty in his house? I wonder. Where are you right now, Toasty? And do let us know, brother Bay. Like, how has it been working in the cannabis industry? Like, was it what you thought it would be? Have you been enjoying it still? Like, I know you've mentioned a little bit that you enjoy it, but mm, that is some good water. Damn. Ermius Plur, friends. So, this cup, we have this friend that tunes in called Nova, and he called this cup Ermius. And then I mean Toasty, added that instead of it just being Ermius, it should be Ermius Plur. Plur standing for peace, love, unity, and respect. So every single sip of water I take, that little fractal of understanding comes along with my hand towards my face, like, oh yes, God uplifts, peace, love, unity, and respect. Is that Pocky for my? I'm getting a package. Estian. Whoever sent that knows my real name.
So Kitani, okay. En sy nou jou ken jou regte adres ook. En is van Korea af.
Yeah, like I think
no
that's a
full working what the fuck?
that's a package sent in South Africa, it seems. Hey, Untitled, thank you for joining us, friend.
Kan nie Lewyn.
I need
Jammer.
dankie Susa. I need
jou
y'all.
skerping bring.
Asseblief, ja, so lekker dankie Susa. Can I bring you a sharp thing? She asked. I need y'all to make me my nervous energy. Please just come siphon it on out. Like unfortunately, I was about to say, I see that penta geometry in my eyes, or well, in my third eye right now, kind of like flipping around itself, like upside penta, so it goes like this, like bang, 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 bang. So nervous energy siphoned. I while I wait for my sister to bring something sharp, let me practice a habit that I have been practicing less, and I'm proud of myself for that as well. Cheers to you, friends. Cheers to Divine Feminine. Cheers to habits. Thank you for practicing this habit of sharing love of one another with me. Jokingly throwing knives at me, telling me to catch. Hankie Sasa.
Dis hier.
So, my little brother used to have a working 3D printer, and yeah, then he makes things. This being one of them. I don't know who this is from. I don't know if it's from one of you friends. I don't think so, because apparently it was sent in South Africa, but nobody told me in South Africa that they're sending me a package. But it feels like clothing, so my intuition is telling me it's a pashmina. Paper. Oh, paper! More paper! Even more paper! Oh! Oh! I know what this is. You're like, the fuck's that, Mel? That looks extra sus. You know what this is? This is lion's mane. This be a big bag of lion's mane. Man, my intuition was off. Maybe I was just wishful thinking. That's exactly what was happening. I should have known. I should have known, because I did order this. So let me share a little bit of this story with you, friends. Talking about habits, right? Like I've been practicing the habit of guarding my time, being very serious, because I my mind doesn't stop as it is, and then if I give even more of my time away in a way that I feel isn't in my control, then when I do have my own time, my mind feels like it needs to catch up. So it's like even more, you know, 3D goblin monkey shaking the cage vibes. So like my cousin, sorry, we say neefie in Afrikaans. That is how we say cousin. Like we have neefies and nuggies, which is like the masculine for cousin and the feminine for cousin. But you say cousin in English, but you have the words nephew and niece, which is nuggie and neefie, nephew and niece. They're so like they want to be attached to the same little fractal in my brain. Anyway, so my cousin sends me this message like, oh, I met this dude and he really makes me think of you, and I think you'd really be able to hit it off if you had chats with one another. So, I'll send you his number, reach out to him. And my cousin sends me this dude's number. And I'm like, bruh, bruh, do you know how busy I am? Do you, I don't think you know how busy I am, but I'm way too busy to just reach out to someone out there somewhere in the infinity, all right? Just for the sake of it. And I'm like, oh, donkey, donkey, my new, thank you, cousin, for sending me this number. And I don't follow up on it. And I think like a week passes, and I receive a message, and it's just like a number that is not saved on my phone. And he's like, oh, hey, it's me, Marcus. No, 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 no. Like your cousin told me about you, and I'm like straight. So like I've pulled this card as well, where it it kind of goes into the pattern of you might have been a little bit soft and like beating around the bushes. Like I'm paraphrasing. Now it's time for you to step into your power and be a little bit more direct. Be concise. And I like tell him straight. I'm like, dude, thank you for reaching out, but I am a little bit busy, so I might not always be able to actually have chats, but when I do have chats, I'll be here. I promise you that. And we basically start chatting back and forth. He mentions to me that he's going to Vietnam and they're going to teach English. So like instantly, I'm like, is that a pattern I see? And we start having chats and we start having this back and forth about mushrooms. Like, and he runs a business selling medicinal mushrooms, one of which is lion's mane, and he sends me pricing, and like this is like maybe 5 or 6 messages into our exchange, and I'm like straight, thank you for telling me, but I'm not planning on spending any fiat at the moment, I tell him, and he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And we keep having a conversation, and I encourage him, on this journey that he's going on right now. He feels stuck at this point in his life, and he's going to Vietnam to go and teach English. He can, like as I did, you can earn a very decent salary working in a foreign country, and compared to South Africa, like our minimum wage, our I think our average household wage in South Africa is something like 3,600 rand, which is just under $300. That is our average, right, in South Africa. So in China or Vietnam, you can earn easily 4 times that, easily, and that is after having all of your expenses paid for, basically. So I basically have this chat with him. I'm encouraging him to like lean into this type of his life. It's not going to be something that is going to be completely a waste, but when he does it, he is going to gain new appreciation for where he is. And I tell him this, and I basically just encourage him. And I send him this voice note, and he sends me this voice note back. And within the first like 3 seconds of hearing his voice, I hear, I know who is on the other side of the phone. Let me say it that way, right? And I'm just like, oh man, I feel this dude so much. And we get to exchange love, and we get to, encourage one another. We get to recognize who we are. And he's like, hey dude, I understand that you don't want to buy anything, but can I at least send you a sample? Give me your address. And I'm like, bro, if you're gonna send me a sample, I might as well support you. Support you tangibly, I say to him. And it's like $600 for a bag, which is like a single rand is like a 16th of a dollar. So 16 rands is $1. So $600 would be about $40, give or take, maybe 30 something. But 30 something bucks for 600 grams and 300 grams, and you take a little 3 gram scoop, a day. So I like do the math, and I'm like, well, it's not that bad. And lion's mane has been proven to stimulate the release of brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is good stuff. Like in a word, at least two, it's good stuff. It basically is the thing you need if you don't want Alzheimer's. People with Alzheimer's or dementia have very low levels of brain-derived neurotropic factor. So I'm like, yeah, well, $40, for 2 months or so of brain-derived neurotropic factor. It's pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. So I bite the bullet and I support him, and he sends me his banking details, and he asks for 600, and I send him 666 rands, and I remember sharing, like, I think it was 2 days ago, where I looked into the camera and was like, I can say 666, and you can, trip out about that, or you can see something. And I mentioned that what I see in that is new beginnings, because on that day, after sending him this, amount, it was this moment of, like, instead of just sending him, the money that he asked for, send him 66 more bucks, because it's going to be even more of this. I believe in you, like this dream you have, this thing you want to do. And he's selling medicinal mushrooms, like that stuff. If more people eat medicinal mushrooms and have more brain derived neurotropic factor, we might have trillions, if not hundreds of trillions, if not quintillions of extra neurons on our planet. And that is fucking good stuff, so I'm like, believes in you. I send him the money, uh and I sent him like a screenshot that I sent him 666 rand, and I send him a screenshot of this little description. If you Google 666 meaning, or 666 spiritual meaning, or angel number meaning, or something like that, and it basically goes into this, little rant of to new beginnings. Embrace new beginnings, allow new beginnings, and grow from new beginnings. And this is as he, and I didn't know that upon, sending the amount, but then searching it and trying to send it as well, I was like, this dude is literally, so he's flying through on the 1st of June. Yeah, less than 2 weeks now, and he's going to be in Vietnam, embarking on this journey. So, like, I saw myself in him, and I saw myself in him trying to do something, and I saw myself outside in him as this, person that is me. And I could see him, and I was like, you know what? I see, I support you. And a habit, I want to make that a habit in my life, and I already am, and I'm going to keep doing that. I want to be able to help people. I just wish I could do more. That's the real thing. That's the thing that sucks the most ass. It's like, I want to do this much, and I have at this moment this much to do. And I'm like, no, grasping attachment. Just let it go, dude. Relax. You're doing the habits. The small things are adding up. The small things are adding up. Siobhan, thank you, friend, for reminding me of that. Again, Untitled, it's lovely having you here. I'm cured. I'm behind. Just got to the siphoning. Just chilling here in the past. Dude, am I in the past right now? Am I in the present? Or am I in your future? Like, that's the question that I'm wondering. Like, Miss Mouse sent that message probably 10 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago. Oh, goodness. Love to you, Fred. Good morning. Thank you for the all seeing upvote, Fash. Love to you again, Sucker Witch. And Brother Ryan, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your messages today. Thank you, friend. Thank you for the love. Friendly vibes from Florida. Friendly vibes right back to you. Thank you for joining us, friend. Love from Kira Verb. What is the meaning of life? You, Tarot. You, friend. Yes, you. You go and, like, what's the meaning of life? You just go to a mirror and then you stare at your eyes, and you keep doing that. And you see how long you can do that for, friend. And you'll realize that you are the meaning of life, that you can stand there staring into your own eyes, and there is life. There it is. Like, I wanted to do a whole topic on this, I probably still will, a whole stream on this topic. Is your reflection still there when you're not standing in the mirror? And then you can be like, no, Melt, that's fucking stupid. The reflection is there because light bounces off of you and then bounces off of the mirror and then bounces into your eyes. And, like, I know that. But if you walk off the mirror, right? Just imagine. Let's just imagine. Okay? It's it just, it's about making yourself see that there is more to life in you than you could ever imagine, friend. Like you don't have to search for it anywhere else other than you. You are the meaning of life, Tarot. That's what I believe, at least. 42. I mean, that's a good answer as well, but that is more the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. That's 42 right there. Love to you, Clausy. Thank you, friend. How many drugs are you currently on? I did smoke a bowl of weed, friend, and I had coffee. And while I was eating my meal, I had some grapefruit juice. If you really want to know what I put into my body, like you can try and replicate and see if it happens to you. And I wish you good luck. There's also all of the other stuff, like years, decades of work that has to be put in. But you can. You just have to. You just have to try, Fred. You're capable of so much. Like, you're capable of this and more. Like, a lot more. Like, this is like I'm still in the low levels, I'm still climbing the mountain. Like, otherwise, I would have just clipped out of this universe. So I clearly have some work to do. Hello to you, Bretta. Is it just a lawn stream? I technically, yeah, I'm sitting on the lawn streaming, Greg. Thank you for joining me. Mel, thank you infinitely for helping us yesterday and making sure Emma got to do her activity. And B, paying it forward, practicing habits that I want to be able to practice. Front page gang, yeah, fuck yeah. Like I don't think we have not gone front page in like 10 days or something. And I'm like, my mind is boggled by it, and it just feels so true. Like I love you, friends, so much, and I love the stuff we talk about so much, and knowing that it's reaching more people than ever, and we're gonna continue reaching more people than ever. We're changing the world. The you friends are changing me, and then we're changing each other, and then us being changed changes the world, and the world being changed changes everything. I love you, friends, so much. Flowers are beautiful, harmony of masculine and feminine, genetically too. On every level, everything is toast. And all we have to do now is recognize that beautiful divine feminine in ourselves. Like realizing, especially as men, that you have that femininity in you. And I shared this yesterday, but I would like to share it again because I feel it's so important. You can see yourself, your beauty, your radiance, the little lines on your hands, the hairs growing out of your arms, your little, nose hairs that stick out, all of it as the divine feminine expression, and your awareness thereof can be the divine masculine expression. And love yourself that way. Love yourself that you would love a woman, and it sounds weird. It sounds weird when I say it, I know, but a woman needs to be loved authentically, without any expectation for exactly what you see, for what is in front of you. Not, no matter what she looks like, or if she has makeup on, or high heels, or, if her hair is beautifully combed. In fact, if it's a whole chaos mess, even more beauty, even more universe. That is the way that I believe we should be loving ourselves. And yesterday, acknowledging that, it devastated me because I noticed how critical I was with myself, and how I was like, no, this is ugly and this is ugly. And I was like, would you speak to your divine feminine that way? If you have a wife one day, would you say those things to your wife? And I was like, fuck no, I wouldn't. And why am I saying it to myself then? And I was like, bro, bro, please, please. Getting absolutely wrecked by awareness. The masculine side of me was like, and I guess that is technically, again, the whole paradox of what we do to the feminine. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Thank you, friends, for being in this back and forth with me, for learning with me. Like, we are actively growing. Sending you all Thursday morning love from my side of the world. Sending you so much love as well. Thank you for being in your infinity, beloved friend. We love you. That's an interesting thing, Barrett. Hmm. I kind of want to think about it for some reason, Like, it kind of makes me think of sex magic. But let's leave it at that. Yep. Did you see the Blade movie? Holy moly, the Blade move. Holy moly. Game of Thrones got weird, man. It got really weird really quickly, dude. Like after, dying and coming back to life. How far can I push this analogy? Remember when Jon Snow died and came back to life, right? Yeah, things were never the same, dude. But you know that. All right. Love to Uncle Becky. So much love to him. Dude, that flower is fucking gnarly. Right, Slippy Catch? Isn't it amazing? Is that real? It's real. It's real, Uncle Becky. That's the thing that boggles my mind. I literally went and picked this. Like, I don't know. I don't know how, reality comes up with something so beautiful because it has textures, and obviously you can't properly see textures on a camera. Maybe you can a little bit. But goodness. Not only is it beautiful, but it has touch. Why? 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 Why if not love? Why if not love? Why if not, the divine feminine just being like, I freaking love you, consciousness. I love you, spirit. I love your ability to love. So I'm going to give you things to love. Look at that tree. Isn't it amazing? So freaking cool. Lick it. I'll actually lick it. Mm. It doesn't like that. Or at least it told me that it doesn't like it. So it has some sort of bitter compound on it. So as soon as I licked it, it was like, what are you doing? Stop it. Cool flower. Thank you. Love you as well. That's beautiful. Thank you, friends, for allowing me to share it. That looks like the thing from that one movie. I'm pretty sure it does, Lozy. I'm pretty sure it does. Gavri Goo, thank you for joining us, Divine Masculine Man. You look like Heath Ledger. Huh. That's a first. Does he? Just maybe similar. On B was on the exact same tune as me. That's so beautiful. If Leech Heather, if Leech Heather had a child with Kit Harington, like I feel like it maybe like it's Kit Harington, like Chris Hemsworth, uh, of course Heath Ledger, Chris Pratt, like a little bit of Chris Pontius. Who else? Like, there's one more who has like a very off name that I forget sometimes. Those, and they did like a fusion ha, consolidated into me. Original comment. How are you today, Beretta? Love, show us the dog. Pepe, Pepe, long stockings. You probably saw her. She's being dramatic. And that was Uncle Becky was talking about kinda about sharing his money, aka his farm. It's already happening, Clausy. It's just going to take some time. It's just going to take some time. Step by step, we're going to be doing it. Maybe you shouldn't demand things. Asking is much nicer. That does help. Who needs tears? Synchronicity, Brother Bear. I was having a stressful moment and almost started feeling sad about recent events in my life. I felt I needed to sit down, smoke a little bit of Mary Jane, and stop my negative chain of thought and remember that I love and that I am loved. Brother Bay, that's all we need to do sometimes. When it's so simple, technically, right? Like the words you said, it's not groundbreaking, but yet hearing it inspires me. It's like, yes, 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 King. Dude. And that's all we have to remember sometimes. It's just that we have this ability to acknowledge that we are loved. All we have to do is look and see it. Just look and see that you are loved. And we keep our eyes closed. Not only our eyes closed, but we keep our hearts closed. We keep our entire beings closed. I love you, friends. Thank you for being open to receiving that love. That your flower is a carrion stapelia. It's a spineless succulent, predominantly from South Africa. You see now? So, like that, right? Like Dan, this whole infinite being in the universe. I'm like, look at pretty flower. And then Dan gets to be this part of my mind that is the information. And it's like, yes, the Carian Stapelia, spineless succulent from South Africa. Now I know, dude. I hope I'll remember. Carrion. Stapelia. The Stapelia part is pretty sick. Stapelia. Ah man, the attachments I have to make are not exactly inspiring. It's Carrion Stapelia, Carrion Stapelia. I am 100% gonna forget. Thank you for this info. Yeah, genuinely. Keep telling me. Every single time I show the flower, tell all of us, please, again. Slush, there has been a balance of give and take. It's going to keep going that way. And then that it's going to become exponential, and that infinity is going to become more and more powerful, more and more vast, pushing larger and larger waves into the universe. Selling export a Fortnite account 20k V-Bucks, including purchase history, proof, and 80 euro Amazon gift card. Personal message me. I don't think I don't think that's a good idea. Thank you. Like, do people buy Fortnite accounts? I guess so. I mean, like, there's better ways to make money, friend. I do believe so. Consider supporting the beautiful content. As I say that, Uncle Becky, am I? Is what I'm doing a better way to make money? I really have to sit in a moment of contemplation. Can I judge? No, no, I can't. You do you, friend. Love ya. Purple Cup. Yo, Melt family. Dan joining us as well. Such a pleasure having you here. Mushrooms. Mushrooms, brother. Brain food. It is. What's up, Toasty? Want to get toasted together? There we go. Wait, what? Is it like actual lion? No. Yes. Here in South Africa, to get very virile. We eat the fur of lions. No, this is lion's mane, like the mushroom. It's I mean, if you look at the photo of it, it's like this white fungus. It's called a tooth fungus because it grows like these little teethsies over one another. Uh, like the imagery that I want to use to explain it is not going to be pleasant. Like the teeth one is already like the fuck, and then the other one is like white little worms, and it's also kind of like no, but it's a beautiful fungus, and it has compounds that stimulate the release of brain-derived neurotropic factors. So, why? Why? Why would a mushroom growing on wood make human beings produce more stuff that makes our brain cells grow? Like why if not love? Again, Mother Nature. Without the connection with all of you beautiful souls recently and being able to reflect and connect to the positive, loving energy that we've experienced with us all, I feel I would be lost again. Thank you. And thank you all so much. Man, I'm seeing airplanes the last bit so much, like is it an airplane? Uh, uh, Boeing or Airbus, however you want to call it. Thank you, Mother Bear. Thank you for, sending that love. Like you experiencing that, you not being lost, you being in this moment and feeling the love that there is for you in this moment. Oh, goodness. It's gonna change everything, friend. Not only is it gonna change your life, but it's gonna change everybody around your lives, and then everybody around theirs, and then everybody around theirs, and so on and so forth. This lion's mane. Dit is mushroom poeier. Mushroom poeier. Lion's mane help jou brain derived neurotropic factor release, wat soos 'n breinsel groei compound is. Yes. Wil jy jou vertel van hierdie Herman ou?
Nou, hy's 'n kerel.
No way. Is dit wanneer hy's 'n kerel?
Nee.
Hy gaan Vietnam toe.
Nee.
Okay, dan weet jy nie wie dit is nie. Okay, nee, is reg, so. Hy's 'n bietjie besig.
Nee, maar wanneer hy's 'n kerel.
Ek hoor hy het tattoos en stuff.
Hy het tattoos en hy's 'n gym bokkie.
Ah.
Nou ja, sy hare is bietjie rooierig en so. Anders weet ek nie van hom nie.
Dankie, Sissa. She's telling me about my cousin, who is the sister of the cousin I was telling you about earlier, who now has a boyfriend that has tattoos and likes going to the gym and has red hair. Like, thank you, sis. I was just saying thank you. You know what? Thank you for the information. I appreciate it. Like our family is very much ooh tattoos. So now it's a whole story that one of my cousins has a boyfriend who has tattoos. Lion's mane is being used in fighting dementia and Alzheimer's. There we go. Uncle Becky knows. No, it's a type of mushroom that it is. Off to emergent care of the sun to check his breathing. Yo, can we all just take a few breaths? Really appreciating the fact that you can breathe in this moment. Imagining Kira Burb's little boy breathing as fully as you are right now. that any congestion, phlegm, or inflammation gets absolutely melted away, and that his lungs being filled with fractals in the same way that a tree fills the air with a fractal. When you change your breathing, you change your entire state of being. Sending so much love to your boy, Kira Burb. Happy day 504, peeps. I checked my phone, but I wanted to send love to all of you. The countdown, Isaac, sending you calm, getting excited for this to remind me of the time in life. When is the honeymoons? I'm really curious as well. I wonder if he's gonna let us know. Oh, it's behind. Wow, that's interesting. I make around $450 a week, but then rent is almost $1,100 of out any bills, so I guess it evens out. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like a rent in South Africa is about 300 for like a one bedroom apartment that you share to 700 for like a two bedroom apartment that is all yours in South Africa, like even in the city, in some places. So like rent is cheaper in South Africa, but it's still not much. But I mean, I'm happy for you though, Isaac, and I believe that's going to only increase. People are always going to have hair. Ba-da-bop. So we're all going to have, human attention. Ba-da-bop. So you're literally where you're supposed to be, brother bear. Love you, Lisa. No wrecked, not checked. Damage total. No wrecked, not checked. Damage totaled. Mm, you know, like I feel when I read things that my brain doesn't understand, it tries to grasp at all the different fractals in my mind just to like generate something to say, and then I feel like I evolve as a result of it. It's like Jovan, hello sister, glad to be here with you on the YouTubes. It's nice to have you here, Lisa. Thank you, friend, for supporting us on both. I hope all is well. Thoughts are with you. The best to you and your son. Thank you so much, friend. So sorry. What's up, my guy? Peace and blessings. I haven't caught your stream in a minute. Good to see you. Poached Megs. It's nice to have you here again, friend. I look forward to seeing you more. Your stream yesterday was enlightening. I also had the mirror effect. Am I starting a new cycle? Mother Earth is why I'm not alone. The little things do add up. A vibratory rate is real. And this is my path for peace. Thank you, brother. Yo, Miss Mouse. So, like, Miss Mouse is really paying attention. Like, not only is Miss Mouse, like, tuning in, but she's like, the fuck is this dude saying? What are you saying? So, the first one, the new cycle, that was something I mentioned about cards, like a card that I pulled that was about the phase moons, about a cycle coming to an end, my birthday, us coming to day 500. Like it was like the cycles theme, and I was mentioning that. Then the mirror effect, of course, prior. Then Mother Earth is why we're not alone. We talked about mothers, on Mother's Day a while ago as well. Then the little things do add up. Jovan stream, vibratory rate. I do believe that was a stream we were just talking about. I think that was yesterday, right? Like clipping up or clipping down the vibrations that we share. And then this is my path for peace of mind, or just peace, is the song, the first song, the second song that I danced to during my dancing stream yesterday. And Miss Mouse is like, taking the messages that she needs, like listening to her heart. Like I'm just like a voice box, like a little bird chirping once a day, waking up and chirping to the world. And you friends get to elicit the meaning from that. Miss Mouse, thank you for enlightening me just how capable you are, friend. So glad to have you here. Good to see you. Jon Snow. More like John. Warm summer day. Oh! Then, like, I want a whole skit. I want a whole skit, you know, with dramatic facial expressions and everything. He's like Jon Snow, more like John Warm Summer Day. And, that's the George R. R. Martin. Take that, George R. R. Martin. Man, Dad, you are something, brother man. Thank you for being such an inspiration, man. Beautiful mess here. All of us are. So much love to you, Auntie. You are beautiful for that. You know, for that and for so much more. I used to spend so much time blow drying, straightening, putting on makeup, making sure my outfit and accessories were matched every day. It took time, energy, and money that did not serve me. And like, and I don't want to say this, you know, but I will. Not only doesn't it serve you, but it can actually do the opposite, right? Like you can cause so much mental turmoil because of that, which is bad for you. We know stress is bad for you. Putting on makeup, excuse my burping. Makeup is expensive. Makeup is so expensive. At least from what I've seen, you know, you don't just get a one makeup and then there's no more makeups. No, yeah. Then accessories, more, you know, expenditure for what? And then every single day, again, you know, like if you want to do something every single day, make sure that it serves you to the deepest of your purpose. And you know, trying to be something, you know, trying to be beautiful when you already are is nonsensical. There we go. You are beautiful, you know, messy hair, potentially smudged makeup from the previous night, all of it. You are beautiful. I'm inspired by Moby. He removed all mirrors from his house for that very reason. He's like, fuck no. All of this thinking? No. Fash, that's hilarious. Let me correct myself by saying some. Oh, I mean, it goes both ways. I'll just say that. Let me correct myself by saying sometimes it helped my confidence. And you see, that's the thing I'm saying as well. Like, if you're going to do it, you should be doing it for you, right? Not for the external world. You shouldn't try to look beautiful. You should know that you're beautiful. And if you want to do something, if you want to accessorize that as like a beautiful dance to the vine, you know, like do it for an outing or do it for a party or do it for you going dancing and then be that beauty expressed. But doing it every single day, you know, just for the sake of making sure that you're never seen in your actual state of being, that is not healthy. Helped my confidence, and I'm glad that I did that. But it's not needed for me to know and appreciate exactly who I am. Auntie, you're so in tune. Melt, you're gonna pass up that Fortnite account. That sounds like a really good deal. Like the way I read it, I was even for a second was like, yes, see, I mean, 80 euros plus 20,000 V-Bucks and payment history. Yes, like I mean, like, what am I missing out? You know, what's gonna happen? Oh goodness! Like, am I gonna have FOMO if I don't get that? That gave me chills. I honestly hard to look in the mirror. It causes a negative mindset for me a lot of times. Like for me as well, so many times on B. So at this point, every single time I look in the mirror, I tell myself that I love myself. You know, I don't need validation from the external world as much anymore because I know that I love me. You know, I'm like, hey, dude, yes, you fucking good looking devil. You. Flexes. Yeah, I see you. And it like really makes a world of a difference. Instead of trying to find fault, I try to find beauty. In the same way that you try and find beauty in the trees. You know, you can be like, oh, you know, the way that branch grows, it looks kind of dead. There's some bird poop on that branch. That branch, you know, is kind of like hanging too low. I can try and find, you know, negativity, or I can be like, wow, wow, Lisa. Whoa, did I miss something? Giovanni, sister. Again, thank you, Isaac, for saying love, friend. For me, sister, I feel the same way. It's a strange feeling. Love yourself, friend. If you love a thing at all, love yourself because that is you. That is you. Mm. What language is that? It's Afrikaans, get Bitgist. Is Afrikaans, vriend. Ja, technisch is mijn eerste taal Afrikaans. Maar ek is redelijk seker op hierdie stadium is my eerste taal actually Engels. Ek dink ek praat beter Engels as ek Afrikaans praat. Ek kan meer artikuleer in Engels as ek in Afrikaans kan. Ek voel asof ek nou kan goed Afrikaans praat, jy weet, asof ek nou regtig in Afrikaans praat. Maar ek praat 'n bietjie vinnig en Afrikaans is al klaar 'n vinnige taal, so jy kan baie keer glad nie verstaan wat mense sê van mekaar nie. Veral as jy bietjie begin mompel erg raak. Ja, ja. I would love to do this someday. Who needs tears? If it will serve you, please. Bro, you sound like you're on a great trip and in tune with the universe. Thank you so much, Brother Bear. Angel of Steel, I feel that. I do feel that. You know, this trip around planet Earth is going to be a significant one for me. My turning of 25, right? Like, technically, now I'm going towards turning 25. Gonna have my 1/8 life crisis soon. No, 1/16th at least. 137, 32. You know, we're going to be the first generations that lives at least 200 years. We're going to have so much more time to be ourselves. We're going to have to get to know and get to love ourselves more than ever because we won't have the luxury of being like, oh, I'll die soon. You know, oh, it's not my problem. I'll be dead soon. No, no, you won't. No, you won't. In Australia, the rent is about 350 bucks a week for a one bedroom shared amenities. Ugh. Dude, cost of living, you know? Like, yeah, you know, you have to pay to live on surface area of the planet. It's like, excuse me? There's surface area everywhere. You know, I can just lay down here on the grass and I can have a blanket and then I can sleep there. The fuck you mean I have to pay for it? I know, dude. And it's changing. It is changing. I believe the future we're moving into is going to be one that is humans first. We're going to be taking care of humans, and then from humans being taken care of, we can actually build. Because on the most fundamental level, economies thrive, quality of life improves when people are taken care of, when people have the bare necessities, you know, then things can get better. Before we reach that understanding and try to implement that on a global scale, and we don't have to have like, you know, equal distribution of wealth, that would be like impossible, but we can give at least what is expected for us to survive. We don't have to earn a living, you know, like those words boggle my mind. You know, like, you have to earn a living, you have to earn that which you are. Literally earn it. Like, you don't have it. Like, you aren't the living, you know? And I'm like, oh fuck. Coming into this world like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on here? And it's a whole different you know what? I think enough said. Do you did you do a tarot reading? No, I didn't do tarot readings, friend. I do have sacred geometry cards though. Rent for a one bedroom in DVW is around 1,400 bucks. 2000, 22,200 rand. Dude, like 22,200 rand is like, I think, more than engineers make here in South Africa, bro. Like, that's crazy. It was for a tiny apartment outside of Austin. Insane. How do teachers? I was literally thinking that on B. I was literally thinking exactly that, but I didn't want to say it because I was like, am I belittling? Like, a teacher salary here in South Africa is like 10,000 rand. You know, like 600, 700, no, like 700 bucks. That's a teacher salary. Like, yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff broken right now. Goodness. Damn it. Damn. He's amazing, isn't he, Jovan? It's beautiful. It's difficult all around. It's crazy. It will get better, friend. It might get worse first, but it will get better. I saw an animated graph of the rental prices of the major places in the world from 1950 until now. It was depressing. 1,000% higher. Some places are 1,000% higher. That's ridiculous, Angel of Steel. Your friends want to come to South Africa? only a little bit joking. Just a little bit. Happy Thursday, Melt. Happy Thursday, Melters. Happy Thursday, Thaffel. Thank you for joining me. Love your scarf. Thank you, Brother Bay. It's a gift from my mom. I love it as well. Melt and Munch needs to be a double cream. That would be fun. Need to do a double stream. Munch? Munch? Do I know Munch? I don't know if I know Munch. I need to know Munch if I don't know Munch. Thank you for sharing, Twafel. Like, share a link to me, and I'll click on it, Brother Bay. Bugger humans, we need to fix the earth. We are, friend. You know, and this whole stream was about that. This whole stream was about the habits that we're practicing right now. And, you know, it starts with every single one of us as an individual. You know, often do we have this mentality as humans that, oh, I'm just little me, nothing I can do. You know, I'm not powerful enough to change the establishments. If every single person believes that, nothing will happen. So it's important for us to start living in this habit. And one of the habits that I've taken onto my life is the habit of empowering people. I want to empower people. I want people to feel like they are powerful, because more powerful people means more powerful people making differences, making changes in this world. And the people that get drawn into this space, that gravitate towards the message we're sharing, are people who are choosing love. So not only are we going to have more powerful people, but we're going to have more powerful people that are loving. Doesn't that sound amazing? And that's all we have to do. You know, we have to practice these habits of empowering one another, and in keeping that process up, eventually we will fix the earth, Fred. We already are. You do you. You do, Mel. As do you, Shannon. As do all of you friends. I appreciate it so much. It is really life changing. Society is fundamentally flawed and is a populist controlled, fueled by propaganda of the masses, brainwashing the sheep. Angel of Steel, you are the sheeple as well, friend. You know, that part of your unconscious mind, the part of you that is so separate, it's still part of you. You know, it just doesn't want to be. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time because they don't know differently right now. It's not economically, what's the word I'm looking for? Advantageous? Desirable? Maybe desirable. It's not economically desirable to have people that don't want to buy things constantly. You know, like people that are scared keep buying things because they're like, oh, you know, I have this anxiety. I'm pretty sure if I buy this thing, it's gonna make me feel better. And then they buy the thing, and they're like, well, that didn't really do it. And I'm having this anxiety. Maybe if I buy this thing, you know. And then that process gets repeated over and over again into infinitum. And then you have like profit margins, right? Big boy profit margins. But people that are like, you know what? I have more than I could have ever asked for, so I'm going to try and live in a way that is going to be less harmful to the planetary body that is me. You know, that is going to be the society we're moving into, and as a result of that, there's going to be more abundance in the world than there ever has been. If every single person consumed 10% less, just imagine how much there will be in the world. And then, you know, like and this, I'm not trying to be pompous. I live on a farm somewhere, you know, in the middle of Africa. Like I don't have access to buying things. Like I don't expose myself to a lot of advertising either. So the stuff that I've bought are like the bare necessities, or I've bought myself instruments, you know, and then I don't buy things again for months at a time. Imagine if 50% of the human population started doing that. Like literally economies will crash, sure. But there is, as a result of that, going to have to be a shifting of the mentality of like, oh, consumer-based consumption, you know? And then there's going to be all of this excess of people not buying things. And what are you going to do with it? Uh, you're gonna have to do something with it. You know, you can keep hoarding it, imagining that one day people will start to live into their fear and start just mindlessly consuming again. Or you can shift over to an abundance economy where people support one another, because supported people is you supporting yourself, is your consciousness, your awareness of the I of what you're experiencing right now. That gets better, not only for you, but for all beings on the planet, for the pets, for our trees. We're doing it. We are doing it. Good. Only a bit of cry. He's like a little bit of cry. Don't tease me. With a good time, Mel. You think I'm joking? Eden. I mean, like, the only reason I'm only little bit joking right now is because I don't have infrastructure right now. And I'm not saying yet, big yet, you know, infrastructure will happen. She's probably like, what the crap are you doing? Melt DFW is a short for Dallas Fort Worth. That is the name of the metroplex where I live in Texas. Fash, dude, is your job there? You know, like I want to encourage you, friends. And I know it's not realistic for me to say stuff like this. I don't even know if I want to say it now. I'll say it still. I want to encourage you, friends, to gain skills that you can do remotely. Let me say it that way, right? Like, we're already moving into this internet society where a lot of the stuff that we're doing, we can do online, especially when it comes to our economy. So I know it's naive for me to just say something like that. It's like, oh, you should be doing this. But you have time. You don't have a year, you don't have 10 years, you have 20 years to figure that out. And I believe in you. And if we keep doing this, it means that we will be able to earn livings, to generate even more abundance in our lives everywhere. We can go and live everywhere without having to be boggled down by these absolutely absurd, mid city prices. And then the cities are going to get abandoned as well. Oh, goodness. Oh, the future is coming. Mm-hmm. Abundance, friends. It's coming. Genuinely, we just have to know it. Live into that love instead of the fear of, oh, there's not going to be enough. I don't want any power. I want more money and cocaine, says Bobby. I don't want to support anyone. I just want to support my love for money and my addiction to cocaine. What's that clown's name from Metalocalypse? Bozo? Is it Bozo? I'm Bozo the clown and I love cocaine. I mean, it's I guess, right? Dopamine can be fun, but it's a reuptake inhibitor though, friend, right? So you're not getting anything. It's just making you use what you have more, right? And you can only do that for so long. And if you're not willing to practice habits that are going to give you more of that naturally, then it's only going to be like a downward spiral. It's going to only get worse, friend. Sure, money and cocaine, but also habits. That's not just money and cocaine, friend. You got this. I believe in you, Bobby. Oh my goodness, Metalocalypse. It's so brutal. And it's like we're talking about all of these stuff like oh love and peace and beauty. And then I mentioned Metalocalypse, where the literal first episode is just like massacre. A massive massacre. I do not recommend you watch it. It's definitely that other side of the infinity, me as a grungy teenager being like, oh yeah, oh darkness. Yeah, she's a favorite one side. I'm done. I love you, Shannon. Love you so much, Fred. Yeah, she's favoring one side of her head and getting a flat spot. So we're working on that, and she really doesn't like when they touch her neck, maybe a bit stiff. Poor thing. Whew, she'll get better. She'll get better. If anything, yo, Puppy. Puppy is like chewing on this thing, throwing it my way. You want to chew it here in the background, people to see? I was gonna say that she'll get better. Not only will she get better, but she will help us save this world, Eden. Her and this thing that she's going through right now is literally her choosing certain things for her evolution. So instead of thinking of it as a negative, think of how this thing could serve her in becoming her full self. And thank you for allowing us to know about it and to share love to you as well, beloved friend. Charles joining us as well. It's nice to have you here at the bay. Munch of Love Yourself Clothing. He streams screen printing, the clothing and art, and I do know about him. I've seen his streams before, I just didn't have the fractal of the name. It's another inclusive space like yours. We're creating more and more of it. And again, Twaffle, it's gonna take all of us, right? The last thing that I want is to hoard, like no, you're not allowed to go anywhere else, only here. Because that is literally the opposite of what we're talking about. I totally agree. People need to practice self-care and things will get better from there. It already is, friend. And I'm seeing a divide as well. There are people that are now starting to exercise and starting to eat a little bit better, starting to pay attention to their health choices. And then there's the opposite that is like, ah, uh, uh, The masculine, and the masculine has that nature of like dropping down to the floor and being defeated. Oh, I guess I'm dead now. And the feminine is the powerful one that triumphs over it. And we're moving into that feminine energy right now. I'm happy. I'm a happy sheep at least. Nah. Nah, to you, Eden. So much love to you, friend. Thank you for joining us, Frankie Marie. Hope you're doing well. It's crazy. I pay $1,300 for a 4 bedroom, 3 level house. You see, like Charles has it figured out. It seems Charles knows something that we don't. Mm, sorry, I'm a terrible multitasker. It's completely okay. Eden, Lisa, we love you, friend, just the way you are. Multitasker either, but we try. I only adhere to the social norm to an extent that keeps a roof over my head and food in my belly. I know, Angel of Steel. Like, we're doing as much as we can with what we have where we are right now. And all we have to do on top of that is show up for ourselves, right? Like, at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes to start. Literally 10 minutes per day that you show up for yourself. Spend some time with yourself, do something for yourself, a hobby, something that you love doing. And if you keep doing that over 10 years, over 20 years, those 10 minutes per day are gonna add up. And you don't have to do just 10 minutes, you know? Our house is a bit of in shambles, but we pay less than that for our home and the whole 40 acres. What? Are you being serious? On B? Yossi. Suddenly my brain is like, do you excuse me? What did you just say? All I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, and love in my family. A baby song. All I really want, all I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, and love in my family. And all I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, and love in my family. Thank you so much, Eden. We love you, family. Beloved sister Eden. Yes, bro. Remote work is the future. It will liberate you in a lot of ways. Dan, being in the same fractal. You go, Dad. You go, bro. Dude, I gotta say thanks for resonating a bit of my faith in humanity, restoring a bit of my faith in humanity. I really appreciate your mindset. You are my kind of tribe, mate. I hope more people can become as enlightened as people like you are. Friend, what enlightenment means to me is when you acknowledge that you are light. When you acknowledge that you're more than just this body that you have identified with. So I don't think it's difficult. And I think it is happening. More and more people are being like, wait a fuck a second. Maybe, just maybe, I am more powerful than I could have ever imagined. And it's happening. Roxo the clown. There we go. Thank you, Dad. I'm Roxo. Okay, okay. Not again. The only thing with my profession, healthcare, is that I literally have to be with people to do it. You are right, Eden. And you're doing a services work, right? And services you have to do in person. Like, you can't cut people's hair remotely as well. And that is going to, I feel, become like a skyrocket in the value that it provides for humans. So you're also, securing your future. And, healthcare, even if we do it remotely, still there's still going to be people around you who need healthcare, right? Like, we can decentralize healthcare as well, and we are going to decentralize healthcare. So you still got it. You still got it, Edith. 20, like, again, like, when you think in short terms, when you don't think in context of infinity, things can look very gloomy. Absolutely, surely. But if you think in the context of infinity, not only 10, 20, 30, 50, but 1,000 years into the future, what it is we're doing right now has massive implications. Literally. However, people are everywhere and they'll likely always need healthcare. Okay, you already said it, you already knew. But who knows what the future holds? Eden, I feel you are very tuned in, very awake. So I think you do know what the future holds, in fact. And you know exactly where you're supposed to be. I've been permanently remote since the pandemic. It gives me so much extra time having to no longer commute. Just that, Charles. Literally saving between two. Like, for me, I would have saved between 3 and 4 hours every single day. Yeah. Like when I was still working and like commuting in the city, I would have saved 3 to 4 hours a day not driving. How much could I have done? Like we do these streams. We've been doing the stream for an hour and 20 minutes. 4 hours in my day just to sitting. I was listening to podcasts or music or books. So I guess there was that. But still, still, mm, uh, without healthcare professionals, the world will return to the natural selection situation. I mean, technically, it's going to be unnatural selection going forward. RNA is here, friend. RNA is very here, and yeah, like we're living in a new age of medicine as well. We're gonna have literal mini biolabs, and then you as a client are gonna go to Eden and be like, "This is the thing," and then Eden is gonna take a blood sample, and then it's gonna put it into a computer of an algorithm, and then it's gonna be like, shit's broken, yo. How about this? And then it's gonna sequence an RNA vaccine for you from that, and then you're gonna inject that shit in yourself, and it's going to be distributed to the little DNA pairs, possibly demethylating certain gene expressions, allowing you to be the more full expression of yourself. And I know that sounds like a yikes, but there is only change. We've been doing that with our minds this whole time. Now we can do it with the extensions of our minds that we have created. It's literally the reality we're manifesting. Alpha generation is gonna be lit. They're gonna be so lit. Like even I can't I want to, but I can't even imagine what an amazing and full person, little 20-year-old, fruit cup is gonna be. Like just a person, like this node of consciousness and divinity in the world and what she's gonna be capable of. Like she's gonna like dwarf me and my can't even words. She's gonna dwarf me in my current capability, and I rejoice in that. I'm like, fuck yeah, you go. Generations before after me. Feminine energy to you as well, Jovan. This conversation, I'm like, I'm feeling it as well. I'm feeling it so much. Talking about feminine energy. Pippi just like, yeah, destroy. Disrespect your surroundings. Just destroying things. Wait, no, Doctor Roxo the clown. Doctor Roxo. It's so bad, dude. Like all of the little fractals. Oh goodness, the butler. They. I don't even know. I shouldn't share this. No, I kind of want to. Like just to give you context of how horrific this show is. It's like their butler gets like sucked into like helicopter blades or something, and then they like keep him alive, and like a tank of like these multiple attachments. Oh goodness, I'm gonna stop. This again, he's like their manager, right? So he has to has to keep living. It's so horrific. All of it is so horrific, and it just like stares you in the face. It's like, yeah, look at your humanity. Brutal, brutal, the most brutal. Wow, I dead girl, Kristen. It has been a hot minute, friend, and here you are again in this moment with us. We've missed you. Thank you for joining us again. I've been doing a 2 mile walk every morning. Heck yeah. Isomatrix, less sugar, less coffee, more water, less meat, and more veggies. Swaffle maker, you are making a difference. Not only in yourself, but in the world, brother babe. I'm gonna move this way. There we go. Disrespect your surroundings. She's like curious about the box that she just lifted up. I believe we are our own God or higher power, whatever. Oh, absolutely, Angel of Steel. That's my whole message to you. We are all capable of achieving anything that we put our minds to. People don't seem to realize how powerful they are and look to something or someone to give them the strength that they have in themselves. That is literally the message I show up for every single day. Angel of Steel. And you can see how like living that message and slowly beginning to actually believe that message inside of myself has changed me, has changed my life, and it's going to continue to change my life going into the future. And I get to share this message. I It's a trip. I'm like actively tripping the fuck out. And it's so beautiful, and I genuinely believe in doing this. Pepe, please. At least do it there. So I can't hear you doing it so close. Is it out of frame? It is. There we go. So empowering people to do that, and more people being empowered to do that, if a percentage, of people can experience what I've been experiencing over the grand scheme of humanity, all the kids that they'll have, all of the messages that they'll transmit to their kids in turn, their kids, not only who their kids, but the people that they love, the friends, the family members, their kids, it's ripples. We're actually putting out ripples, friend. Thank you for realizing that, which you are. I appreciate you, Angel of Steel. Mint, we are God, or the universe, spirit, always connected. What separates us is our egos and our meat sacks. And it's only a conceptualized separation, right? It's like oh, you are that. I'm looking at you. For that reason, you're not me. That's like we've formed this narrative. But if it wasn't for that thing, if it wasn't for what it is you're looking at right now, if you were pulled out of our Earth's gravity field and atmosphere and just kind of put in the middle of space, maybe at the edge of space where it's still expanding and you're like pressed up against the expansion of the infinite space, some cool imagery right there. You know how long you'd live in that void, in that complete darkness? Like maybe a minute, if you can really like exhale completely without having, you know, the air explode your lung sacs and then die as a result of that. Yeah, like a minute, like 2 minutes. If you're like really strong, 2 minutes you can exist being separate, really separate. So why do you think you are? Why do you think you are? And the thing, and the reason you'll survive for those 2 minutes at most is because you still have part of the infinite earth that gives you life in you. And then that which gives you life, this everything that gives you life is going to, satiate or be used up. Getting big on meditative practices and exercising the vagus nerve. It's like genuinely game changing. Cat cows will change your life. Heavy metal Pippi is a vibe. I was like thinking about this yesterday, Eden. Like when I get a good camera and then like a proper lens, I'm gonna take just like photos of her in her element, like maybe even film it and like post it to YouTube or something. Because the way that she appreciates and experiences the world is genuinely a teaching of just how to be present. And I want to share that with you friends as well. It's just a little bit difficult to film on a cell phone, like I have to get too close to actually capture what's happening, and then I take her out of her zone. Seems like you like metal. Check out the Who. I know the Who, friend, the Mongolian throat singing metal band. They're quite something, like genuinely I feel it's not even metal. Like I think what they're doing is like more prehistoric than anything. It's like the quintessential essence of humanity's singing voice, that real rugged, almost like masculine, angry, I'm gonna be, channeling this chaotic energy vibe. Just so you all know, I'm gonna win the lottery this week and throw lots of dollars towards the Haywire Hill and Mild Progression. Just so you'll know. Eden, all you have to do now is believe it and let it go. Be thankful for it as if it has already happened. I see Eden like kind of realizing that she's won the lottery, and like at first she's like, nah, I'm like tripping out or something. Pinches herself, probably dreaming. And then she like walks out, and then she's like, Corey, can you make sure my eyes are not deceiving me? And then Corey is gonna realize. And then both of them are gonna look at one another, and then they're gonna be like, fuck. And then all of the infinity that comes after that. I see it. I'm grateful for it, even if it's just in mind, and I let it go. Share some of that to me too, lady. I mean, Corey, that's a little bit, forward of you to be asking. I mean, like whatever Eden wins, that's all hers, dude. Don't you know? Don't you know that how it works? Corey is like, too real, Mel. too, that's too real. How about you sit your ass down? You don't know yet. I know, no. But I do know. Eden, thank you for the love, Lisa. Mm, I'll go. I'll go, you abs, bro. Every dollar mean nothing and love means everything. That is the truth, friend. You know, the dollars have just allowed us in some capacity to be here right now. Like, if it wasn't for the dollars as well, we wouldn't have been able to afford this technology or our internet access. And then as a result of that. So it's not about demonizing one of them or another. It's just realizing that money is but a fraction of the infinity and a small fraction at that. And the majority of the infinity can be caught up in love is true and that understanding, you know, and then everything around it is like layers that gets attached to that love is true. Best wife ever. Tons of hookers and cocaine. I mean, where is our friend? What's his name? His name was Bobby. Bobby Shane. Bobby Shane would love that idea. Right there. When I get a lottery, I'm making an RPAN streamers convention in the central location where weed is legal. Ooh, Twaffle. That sounds like a vibe and a half. I would love to actually smoke American weed. I don't know if it's just, imagery, but like there's something about American weed and some of the stuff that I've seen, it's like how is that even real life? Hello to you, Aim for Harmony. I love your username, friend. If we all can do that, this world is gonna be a better place soon. Canada open, and we give good hugs here. Plus poutine. I haven't had poutine either. Also look forward to that. I think there are lots of external forces trying to dissuade people from their power, the divide and conquer mentality, convincing minds to believe that they're not powerful. It's how you sell things on B, not on B, Jovan, sorry. And it makes sense that that is the mentality that we keep pushing. And I'm saying we because I'm willing to acknowledge that it's all of humanity. But that part of us is dying, and you can see it. Like, look at the stock markets right now. It's actually shitting the bed, all of it. Because people are like, you know what? We're the ones with power, actually. Oh, yeah. I remembered. That's why it's so important to love and empower. And I thank you, Jovan. You have been such a beautiful example of that in my life. Like, you have shown up and, empowered me in ways that I could have never been able to know. And you continue to. Hey, Ian Emberley. It's been a while since we've seen you, friend. I'll shine on if you do too. It's gonna take us both. Who? Primal Energy Man. It's amazing. Sounds like right up my alley. I will check them out. You'll love them, Flaffle Maker. You don't know the Who? They're quite something. They have like throat singing and those ancient type of instruments and like some bass as well, like aggressive, like really energetic type of music. Brilliant. Hey there. Checking in for the first time in a while. Pick it and eat it with a triple five. You know what's interesting? Eat it and pick it. Like I have seen the numbers five probably, I want to say 22 times, but it might be wrong. 22 times in the last 3 days, after acknowledging it and then having it acknowledged to me. And the fact that you choose to tune in right now, with all that you've been through, with all that you've experienced, why did you tune in again? What called you back to this space? This stream today was about hobbits, was about habits, and especially the habits that we practice every single day, and how the habits that we practice can be seen as these chips, these tokens, these votes that we put towards, and we have 22 people watching right now, just to share that synchronicity, to share these votes of the person that we want to be, and it's an active process. And I'm curious, what votes have you been making for yourself? And I'm not asking you these questions to judge you or to make you feel bad about it, just to call to awareness, to make you think a little bit, to be like, thank you for being willing to friend. Oh, I got bonked with the wholesome hammer. Eden, thank you so much, my friend, for seeing me and for choosing to share love with me. I see you, beloved friend. Hobbits. Second breakfasts. Like, yeah, I'm going to blame it on the second breakfasts. Things people need to try: eat poutine, crawfish, etouffee, English fish and chips, peanut chicken, shrimp fried rice, sirloin, sushi, spumoni, kimchi. I mean, I think I've had kimchi. I have not had spumoni. I only recently gained a liking for sushi. For some reason, I felt someone within the ether laugh at me for saying it that way. Ah! I know. Shrimp fried rice, more than I'd like to admit. I ate a lot of fried rice in China, and then I was like, oh, why am I getting fat? Gains more weight. Keep stuff in my face with food. Just call me Andrew. My username sucks. Andrew. A friend, I'll call you Andrew. But you have to keep showing up so I can keep calling you Andrew so that that fractal can become more embedded in my brain. Okay? Andrew, I look forward to seeing you again. So, pick it and eat it is his username. So, I'm going to attach the and E as Andrew. Brain, please. Please save it, brain. Let's take a breakfast. I want to become a Buddha. A Buddha. I mean, you're gonna have to do what the Buddha did, friend. And unfortunately, the Buddha was the Buddha because of the experience that he got, right? Like he was a prince, and he was basically kept from the outside world. Like he was put into this cushy realm of like, oh, oh wow, oh luxury, oh please, and then he came. It was like, okay, nice, this side of the infinity, sure. And then he went out into the world, and he was like, oh fuck, oh goodness, people are like murdering one another, and like shitting on the floor. He was like, oh, actual culture shock. He didn't realize the reality, the fact of reality, and he was like, I need to, like, I got to see this side of the infinity of like maybe a loving cushy existence, and I got to see extreme turmoil and pain and strife. How am I supposed to balance this? And he spent time with himself. The only way that you can balance those two realities is by realizing that you are the center from which that those two realities emanate out of, that infinity. And he meditated under a tree for like 3 months, 3 days, and 3 hours or something, dude. So he could do it, you can too. And even if that story isn't true, it still points to something we can realize in ourselves, friend. You can, or you are already the Buddha. That's the that's the reality of the fact. Eden laugh at Melt saying sushi. Melt calls me out for laughing. Busted. You freaking knew it. I knew it. The figs. Oh, and figs, guava, dates, Canadian cheese in Canada. That specifically like that. I mean, I haven't had Canadian cheese. Figs I've had, and I've had figs like you can eat figs in two ways, without knowing how figs are pollinated and with knowing how figs are pollinated, like what do we call that? Pre-knowing and past, PN. Technically, it stays PN, unfortunately. So, before knowing and and after knowing, and figs, and I don't even know if I want to share this with you. Like figs are pollinated in a weird way, and it's only weird because of our bias towards reality and towards normal fruits. But they were still good, even after knowing. So yes, figs are amazing and extremely healthy as well. Guava. I haven't had guava in forever, but amazing. Dates, absolutely. You can do something called date balls as well if you don't want to eat them just like that, and remove the pits, like mix it into like a sticky taffy, and you can eat it like as I don't know how to explain it. Like a toffee, you can take pinches out of and you can have it with tea or something. And something that I would also recommend is try eating your fruits. The ones that I do right now, like I started eating my kiwis with the skin. I'm eating mango with the skin. I'm even eating pineapple with the skin. The pineapple with the skin, I feel might be a little bit of a tall order for most people. I know. It's like it was hard for me at first, and then I was like, ah. Still tastes like pineapple. But definitely try the mango of the skin. You'll be surprised. Like the kiwi as well. You'll actually be surprised. I put dried dates in my overnight oats. Overnight oats is like oats that you make in like a jar, and then it like kind of soaks up everything, and then you eat it the next morning. I do believe that's what it is, right? It was me. I giggled. I felt, and the fact that your name is Trippy Peach and the other person that giggled is called Ninja Peach. That is trippy, Peach. That is very trippy. Don't forget about butter tarts. I don't know about those. They sound amazing. Anything with butter sounds amazing. A little bit of a Shiva coming through a little bit. Taste buds, why can't keep to the healthy diet and have this big old gang of plaque on my abdominal aorta? It's not about bad, it's about balance with carrots. Carrots. Fresh carrots or cooked carrots? I don't. There's nothing wrong with either, but I'm curious. Man, it's getting so cold actually. 26 days of oatmeal for breakfast, broke on bacon. For now. Instead of being like broke, be like, I am manifesting abundance. Instead of like adding negative statements, add potential statements. Fresh. Okay. Thank you. I'm back. Sorry to disappear. No, of course not. For a bit, my brother is here visiting. Send him love, Isaac. Tell him I love you, Isaac's brother. You can tell me his name as well. That might be a little bit more personal. Loving you all so, so much as we love you. Thank you for the bay. With a sprinkle of cinnamon. Have to have the cinnamon. Like, I want to be able to get like a little bit more spices in my diet as well, like cinnamon and turmeric and coriander, all of the natural, leafy spices as well, just for like the health benefits that they possibly would have, but you can only eat that much. 26 days. I was called to your stream today because I've been trying to follow my path more recently on helping and coaching others via streaming, and I need the mental health break myself, so I'm taking a break from creating it. Thank you, Andrew, for taking that time for yourself at the bear. You deserve it. Greatest way to create a neural connection. Associate your chosen memory with another connection, like your association with and E to Andrew. Andrew, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know how to do it. And Angel of Steel, that's why I do it that way, friend. Like I think of our brains as fractal generators. So everything that you think, all of the words you use, are technically these little fractal expressions, and then your brain fires in this way, creating a certain fractal, and then a message gets elicited from that. So there's like parts in my brain, and I kind of think of it as this 3D scape, like a technically a fifth dimensional object within a three-dimensional representation. So it like clips in and out of itself, and some parts of it becomes illuminated and then goes back into itself, and then you can literally not think or remember any parts of that thing that you're thinking or remembering, right? You can be like, oh, I woke up from this dream where you got to experience this outside of the fractal. You're like, oh goodness, interesting. And then you wake up and that gets folded in, and you're like, oh yes, awareness. And you're like, the fuck just happened? But it's still there. It's still you. And then attaching these little fractals, like every single time I think of now Andrew or and eat Andy Andrew. Now it's like, like putting these little stickers over that fractal so I can remember it. It's PK. Luca? Is it PK and that username is like your alt account friend? Love the year with the bay. Thank you for joining us. Mangoes are divine. All mango, everything. I was thinking about this today, Ninja Peach, that I would like eat mangoes like ceaselessly if I had the option to. If you blend the skins up in a smoothie, you won't even notice them. I enjoy them at this point, Eden. Like I don't want to eat mango without the skin right now because like the mango is so soft and it like almost melts in your mouth, and the skin is actually something you can chew, and like they complement one another. It's like two sides of the same little infinity. Boston brown bread, smoked salmon, Tibetan dumplings. Oh yeah, bruh, it's your taffel maker. Taffel maker is like, bruh. Fucking oats is killing me. Let me generate fractals. Different tastes. Damn, man. Mango sap gives me third degree burns. Ah, shit. Be careful, man. Kiwi skins can give you severe allergic reactions in certain people. You see, like, don't listen to a single word that I'm saying, please. Angel of Death is like Angel of Steel. I'm like, yeah, love, love, even for the skins of fruits, and you're like, yeah, you can murder people by saying these things. And I'm like, fuck. I'm sorry, Angel of Steel. Yeah, don't like you. You are the first, node of consciousness. Like I am, like some dude out there in infinity, like to take it that way as well. Or a thick, juicy freestone peach ripe in season. Freestone. Like the stone is actually loose inside of the fruit. I'm guessing. I'm also a big fan of those. Eden. Philly cheesesteak with the whiz mustard. Waffle. I eat the skin on kiwis. I get weird looks. I enjoy the suit. Yeah, sourness. Me too. Me too. It's such an experience. And people give me funny looks as well. And I'm like, bro, like you do realize most of the good stuff that this thing contains is in the skin. It's like imagine we like ate a steak, and then like there is this piece of the steak that has like most of the good stuff. And then we're like, yeah, no, it's gonna cut around that piece. Thank you. None of that. Lloyd Brown, it's nice to see you again, dude. The iliac arteries are totally blocked. Is there anything you can have done? I don't know about that, Miss Mouse. Other than movement, like that's literally, if I'm going to prescribe anything health wise, it's just movement. Now you got us going on food, like really going on food. You're screwed. And I have to go eventually as well. Habits, friend. Habits. Not really anything I noticed, but you could run a knife around it and knock off some hairs. You remind me of my yoga teacher. I am officially a yoga teacher now, Lloyd. So that's a trippy coincidence, friend. Like literally, I got my certification yesterday. You could run a knife along it. A lot of water, low stress, no smoking, and watch the side effects of medication. Great advice as well. Thank you for that, Eden. I found a random food mashup on a munchy session. Mature cheddar cheese and strawberry jam on a wrap or sandwich. It's so good. The sharpness of the cheese coupled with the sweetness of the jam is awesome. That sounds amazing, Angel. The fuck you on, bro? Planet Earth? At least that's what they've told me. Like I kind of got here, and then they were like, "Yeah, you're on Earth." Oh, and I was like, "Oh, okay, if you say so." How about you, friend? What are you on? Supplies, blood, eggs, lots of water, found random food. Hey, you're talking about being the watcher, the best way to be, in my opinion. We are fundamentally that observer, friend. Sounds delicious. Every grilled PB. Summer sausage with sharp cheddar and pepper jack. Thanks for mentioning. I'ma take mine to the doctor. Thank you, Thoughtful. Do take care of yourself at the bay. I knew it. You were right, Lon Braun. You were right, friend. And we're capable. We're so capable of so much. And now it's our time to empower one another, not to break one another down anymore. One of my favorite places where we got married takes a grilled cheese sandwich with an onion jelly. Ooh, now you have my attention, Eden. Like the cheese and strawberry jam, like I get it, but it doesn't inspire confidence in me. Cheese and onion jam, though. Mmm. Now I'm like, excuse me. Come again, not grilled. Gotta try that, man. Right? That one does sound like quite something. Oh, I think I've missed a few. His name is Sam. I love you, Sam. Thank you, Brother Bear, for being the brother of Isaac. For having been that presence in his life. I love my brothers more than I can imagine. Know that Isaac loves you. His name is Sam. He's upstairs napping. He drove through the night to get here. Just tell him that I sent him love. It's 1:44 on the YouTube timer right now as I checked. It's such a strange nervousness to be nervous about receiving love from a bunch of people I know, so no strangers, and everyone is there for damn it, yet still nerves. Of course, dude. Like this is a big moment in your life at the bay. All you get to do, like that feeling, I think what you're doing right now is resisting melting. Like you're like trying to rigid and tension up. You're like, no, keep. You just have to. Oh well, here we go. Getting blasted by the infinity, friend. You're going to be perfectly perfect in the perfection of your perfection, Isaac. You got this, friend. Soak it all up and love it. Nervousness is just a spin on the excitement. You're feeling the feels. Man, Jovan. tuned in. It's unreal. Like you enjoy PB and J, and you say it, and you're welcome. It's dark there now. That's what happens. You know. Now you have the sunlight, friend. You have to make the most of the sunlight, Clausy. You have to go and make someone else smile, make someone else realize that they are, in fact, powerful. I'm struggling to stop myself from drooling. Me too, Angel. Yeah, this is essay, right? You are right, friend. Snuggling to stop myself from drooling. I love you, friend, so much. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow around the same time. You know, do this every single day. But we're done for today. Thank you so much for joining me for practicing this habit. I love you so much. I'll see you again soon. A breath for Isaac, maybe a few breaths for Isaac, even. I appreciate it. I'm just ready to be there. It'll be so much less nervous when I'm there and doing the thing. Such an intense feeling trying to enjoy it. Right now, your fractal generator is like really trying to generate for every single possibility that could possibly happen. It's like, oh, maybe this, maybe so, maybe that, maybe until you collapse into that moment where you're gonna be, it's gonna be a little bit turmoilsome. But you got this, dude. Like, if anything, just like think of it as like, oh yes, I'm doing conscious work to be my most full expression when I'm in the expression of my fullness. And then staying with that. You got it, dude. I appreciate you, friends, more than I can ever say. And you never have to, friend, because we appreciate you in that same capacity, dude. Like, we know. We know that we know that we know. And we love you. Love you, Joe. Love you, Isaac. Love you, Mel. Love you, all the friends. Love you. Thank you, friends, again for joining me. I'll see you, friends, again tomorrow.